Hey, welcome to Freedom Fridays. I'm having one of those days where nothing seems to be working. But welcome. I'm so happy that you are here. This event, let me put my camera over here. Let's do that. That's how we're going to adjust. This Freedom Fridays event is all about getting us to set up our schedule for success for every single week. Oops. That's now the wrong camera. See, just got all kinds of things going wonky today. So yes. Um and in setting up our week for success, this is about helping us celebrate our wins, set up our schedule in our calendar, and then wind down for the week. Now, this session is a little bit different than usual because I am also going to be doing the monthly reflection with you guys today. I have decided that in the flow of how I do Freedom Fridays, trying to do the monthly reflection on a separate day has just not been as productive or as streamlined as I would like to see it be. So, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and um do it all at one time. So the way that that's going to work is that we are going to start with doing our weekly planning for as we do every week on Freedom Fridays. Then we're going to switch into doing the monthly reflection for corporate professionals, where we go through the worksheet that I have on my website for um, monthly reflection. And then we're also going to talk about what monthly reflection looks like for entrepreneurs. For me as an entrepreneur, this is something that I do every month as well. So hopefully this is some of the stuff that I wish that people would have told me when I first started being an entrepreneur. So I want to share some of the ins and outs of what I have learned to be really good monthly practices for me as well. Um, and hopefully that helps you. So today we're trying something new. Make sure that you let me know in the comments, do you like this flow for the monthly reflection or not? And then also, I think what I'm going to do is do this monthly reflection like this every last Friday of the month. So the first 3 weeks we'll just do the weekly planning, and then on the fourth Friday we'll do all of this routine. So definitely trying something new, and I would love to hear your feedback. That being said, the reason monthly reflection is so important is because this is the practice that's going to help us not set every week up for success. That's our weekly, but our month is what helps us align back to our annual goals and make sure that we're doing the work to actually stay on track and make progress. So making progress looks like knowing exactly what our goals are and taking a chance to look at them. A lot of times when we do our vision board for the year, we don't actually go back and look at it. We don't have a routine for making sure we're staying on track with our goals. We kind of just start a goal and then that takes us off on a path and we never realign and make sure we're coming back. So monthly reflection is the monthly habit to help us do that. Okay. I want to go ahead and jump right in. So let's jump in with talking about what are you celebrating for this week? What are your 3 wins that you're celebrating for this week? Make sure you tell me in the comments. I would love to hear what are you celebrating so that I can celebrate with you. And in the midst of doing that, I am going to share with you my wins. Now, I recognize I'm probably talking a little fast because we got a lot to do. 9 times out of 10, I really think this is going to be a 2 hour session for this monthly reflection because I'm going to get in here and do the work as well. I'm not going to show everything on my screen because some of it is doing like bookkeeping and some of the other things that I do as an entrepreneur that's a little bit more proprietary. but I we're gonna get into the nitty gritty and get some stuff done. So I hope you're ready. And if I'm talking fast on YouTube or any of the other ones, you can slow down the speed or when you're watching the replay to be able to, take some time and do what you need to do. All right. So then celebrating our wins. Win number one for this week. I was again coming back from vacation. Even though I have a post vacation routine, it's not easy. Like I think that uh being making videos about things, sometimes people would assume that because I made a video about it, I must be a pro about it. I am not an expert. I'm sharing with you the things that I'm learning as I go because I wish that someone that just was a little bit further ahead of me helped me out, helped me see how I could overcome or skip some of the mistakes that they made and actually use those things to move forward faster. And so that's why I'm sharing these things. So that post vacation reset video was really good for me because it helped me sit down and really get a structure around how I wanted to help myself move forward. So that was a win for me. Number two, in that I saw some places where I wanted to shift my priorities and do things just a little bit differently. And that was really good as well. I think one of the beauties about journaling and reflection is that they help you see where you might have been on a path for some time, but it's time to switch. It's time to not keep moving on that path. It's time to either backtrack or split off into another path to get you actually where you want to go. So that was really huge for me because it helped me make some fine-tune adjustments. And then let me see. Win number three for the week. I stayed with my family last week for Memorial Day holiday, and it was the week after my vacation. It was so, so good. I think I actually did just as much vacationing for last weekend as I did while I was in Mexico. So it was a really good add on to my reset. I wish I could say that I had the intentionality and planned it in advance so that one would roll into the other to help me ease back in. I didn't. It was just a happy mistake or maybe a Jesus-driven mistake that I didn't even realize was happening. So it worked out pretty perfectly. So those are my three wins for the week. I'd love to hear yours in the comments. Moving on, the next thing that I want to jump into, um, I usually like to do a topic, and I would usually have done it first, but I want to spend a couple minutes right now talking about um what this monthly reflection is going to do because I want you to understand the ins and outs of what you're getting yourself into for this session. And I want you to know why you should continue to watch it, why you should continue to participate, why you should show up with your with all of your different things and use this as a co-working session rather than just a video that you watch. This is set up to be a co-working session because you know that when you get on this session, you're going to get the work done right here, right now. And that is huge for making sure you don't have to feel like you have to go back and do something. Like being able to show up, do the work, and get it done right now is so powerful. And so I wanted to make sure you understand that's what the goal of this video is, or the goal of this live stream is that you can show up and do the work on time right now. So for monthly reflection, in our worksheet, we're looking at what are our goals for the week or for the month. How did we stay on track with them? What are our values? What are the characteristics? How once we're in, especially once you get into the Meant for More program, we talk about what are the characteristics and how you want to show up. Like, what are the three things that you want to be known for? How well did you step into those things for this month? And journaling about them, not because we're beating ourselves up about how much we, did or did not do, but actually seeing what our progress has been and using that as a baseline of how we're going to move forward. Um, So this is about being proactive. This is not about beating ourselves up. This is about using intentionality and proactivity to keep moving forward because that's what's going to help us accomplish our goals going forward. Okay, so then once we do our regular worksheet, the other thing that I do once I've been doing this every month once I get off the call, and I was like, wow, this is probably a good idea to do it on the call. As a new business owner, as a business owner in general, some of the things that we should be doing on a monthly basis, especially if we don't, as a solopreneur, if we don't have somebody else contracted to do this, we should be doing our bookkeeping where we're reconciling our accounts. So that makes it so much easier to do your taxes at the end of the month. We should be setting next goals for the month. We should be looking at our strategies and our calendars for the month. So your offer calendar, your sales calendar, your content creation calendar, and your product delivery calendar. We should be looking at those things to make sure all three of those things are still not just on track, but to make sure that we don't need to make any adjustments based on any trends or things that we need to see. Our business ebbs and flows. And if we don't pay attention to the ebbs and flows, that's when things bottom out. And I'm actually seeing that with a client that I work with because they had to wait. They waited until things were bottoming out to recognize, oh, Rashida is right. I need to go back and adjust that. I'm telling you this from experience. So I'm telling you this so that you don't make the same mistake that I make. And if you do make that mistake, don't worry. I'm here to help you. But this is to help us stay on track and really set up structure and systems that help us not get into the point of emergency mode, that we can never get into that deep low, and that we can kind of ebb and flow with it and stay in the flow of those things. Okay, so that's what we're getting ourselves into. As you can tell, I'm super excited. I had a little bit of matcha this morning, so I got some energy going. So it feels good to really jump in and get this stuff done. I've been getting stuff done all morning. So, as we usually do, now it's time to go ahead and head to our calendar to look at what did we not accomplish for this past week and decide and put all of those things on our to-do list so we can schedule out our priorities for next week. And then anything that we decide is not a priority will stay on our to-do list until we're ready to schedule it or to prioritize it and then schedule it in our calendar. So, switching into that, I am going to get set up on my iPad so that I can do my work on the screen. If you have any questions, regardless of whether you're joining me live or joining me on the replay, drop them in the comments. I will come back and answer them for you so that you can make the most of what this work session is for you. All right, I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Mm. Okay.
That's so nasty.
So I'm going to pause the music for a second. Now we are heading into setting up our schedule in our actual calendar. So what I'm going to do is you can't see my screen at this moment, but all of the things that I just wrote as my that were carried over from my week of things that didn't get done, that happens automatically in Ellie. That's one of the reasons why I love Ellie as a planner. I'm gonna make sure in the next couple weeks that I actually do a walkthrough of Ellie and why I enjoy it. Maybe I'll do that next week. Um, so all of those things are automatically carried over. In addition to, I've been doing my manifestation journal every morning, and this week I've been finding that it's been really grounding for me that while I'm doing my writing and my reflection, that I am writing out my priorities for the day at that moment, because I've got a lot of things on my plate right now, and I've got more things on my plate to accomplish than I have time. And so I'm redoing my priorities every single day at this moment. It's not usually that intense, but it is right now. And so I copied the list of priorities that I had from my monthly reflection this morning onto my list, so that I can make sure I get those scheduled into my workflow for this, into my calendar for this week as well. All of that being said, now we've gathered, curated our whole list of to-dos for all the different areas of our life into one list. This is so important. If you compartmentalize that list and put it in different places, you are going to compartmentalize your life, which means you're going to overbook, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to have yourself booked in multiple places, and that sets you up to fail. So when you have all of your things that you need to accomplish in one place, in one list, now you can effectively budget your time for the week. That's the goal here, is to effectively budget your time and be realistic with the fact that you're not going to be able to accomplish everything when your plate is overflowing. And then on the weeks when you can accomplish everything, be excited about that as well. So go ahead, I'm going to open my calendar and I'm going to start scheduling out um my to-dos for the week. If you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to put it in the chat, and we'll go from there. I'm also going to put the music back on. Okay, good. That's not okay.
As so nasty. As so nasty. Deal, my fellas, my ladies, work it back. As so nasty. As so nasty. So nasty. Deal, my fellas, my ladies, work it back. As so nasty. As so nasty. So nasty.
Mm. Ah, okay. So as you can see, I have a couple more things that I am still planning out. And I am actually going to continue to work on them because that is what this work session for today is all about. Is about showing up and actually finishing the work. So I'm going to keep working through that. Um, if you have any questions about being able to um set up your calendar, this is a great time to do it. I am going to stay here with you. I'm going to keep working on it. And you can post your questions, comments, thoughts, all the things in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. I am going to, while I'm giving you the chance to do that, I am going to keep working on my schedule off screen until I finish it. I'm gonna give myself I should be done in another 10 minutes, and then we're going to switch into actually, I'm just gonna give myself that full 20 minutes again, and then we're going to switch into, the next part, which is we're not going to do the wind down yet. We're going to switch into the monthly reflection after I finish this part here. So, you can get your mind wrapped around that. Um if you've been working on your weekly schedule and you have not yet finished it, this is the time to go ahead and finish it. Like, do it right now. Okay. Um, awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and put the music back on, switch back to that screen so you could see how much time you have left to finish. Um, and yeah. What the heck is going on? I don't know what was happening.
So nasty. As so nasty. So nasty. As so nasty. Work it back.
Okay. We have officially finished our schedule for the week, and now we're moving into winding down. I hope I wasn't switched over too long. It doesn't ding or anything. Okay, so winding down for the week, as we do every single week, first and foremost, we're going to take a look at our schedule one more time and make sure that we have rest and fun scheduled in. Yes, you've got tons of things, tons of work to do, but the balance comes in by being intentional about scheduling rest. That is the point here. rest and work life balance don't happen by accident. So I'm looking back at my own schedule. I use purple because it looks different than every other color than what I have everything else categorized on my calendar. So I can see how much purple I have scheduled within my week. And if it looks like I'm a little low on a day, then I need to go back and add more personal time in for that day. And sometimes it ebbs and flows, and I might not have a lot of personal time on that day, but I want to make sure throughout the week that I'm making sure that I'm having a reasonable amount of time. My goal for myself as I continue to grow with work life balance and being intentional about it is that I have a good understanding of the percentage of how much time within the week do I dedicate to personal time, and that I can see those metrics. And so I could be on track. Now, I am a nerd about that. Let's just be clear. Not everybody wants to look at metrics in order to be able to decide, is this what's helping me stay on track? But for me, it makes it very easy to say yes or no. If you're going by a gut feeling, then it's a good start, but it's not definitive to say, am I setting enough time aside? So if you want to join me in that, great. And if you're passionate about using your gut to help you, decide, that's fine too. I'm just showing you, just speaking about different ways to think about it. Okay. So we got that done. We've now made sure that there are rest and fun scheduled throughout our week next week. Now it's time to wind down. So as we always do in our wind down schedule, in our wind down tasks, the first wind down step, that remember, I have this all in your worksheet so that you could do every single week. Oh, this is the monthly one. Let me look at the weekly. Oh my weekly one is acting crazy right now. Let me open it in another screen. I'm just looking at my iPad to keep myself honest, or else I'll be off track. So important for me. Mm, Man, I'm having a hard time finding my stuff right now. Documents. I'm having a really hard time. My gosh, monthly. Oh, here we go. Okay. So step number 1 is looking at, and forgive me, I am one of those people that I have to write everything down or else I'll forget. I will forget my right arm if it's not attached to my body. So that's why I have to look up the page. So step number 1 is that we're looking at our laptop, at our computer, to see what windows can we close. And it's about being intentional that we're not giving anything that doesn't need space in our mind or on our computer any more space than it needs. So we can close it down, and also close it down knowing that you can reopen it another day. Like, you haven't lost it. Believe me, your computer is still tracking all the websites that you've been to. You go back to that website on a different day and nothing will have blown up. Okay. So look at what windows can you close for the week. And then step number 2, what is the fun meal that you're going to have for today to help you shift yourself into knowing this is your weekend, this is your rest time. Frankly, this weekend is going to be really busy for me. It's not going to be quite as restful, if I'm being honest. Because since I was just traveling and I'm traveling again the week after, um, my rest time is being condensed into those weeks for the most part. And I'm still having rest throughout the week, but my weekends aren't extensive rest right now. And that's going into my ebbs and flows. And that's okay. I don't feel like our rest has to look the same every single week. Sometimes it's different because I'm having compacted times where the week after is going to be a lot of rest because I'm going to be in Tennessee. So for the whole week. So that's going to be different as well. I'm going to have way more time where I'm resting versus working. And so I want to get some things set up well so that I can, when I get to that rest point, I can enjoy it without worrying about what balls were dropped and what things I did or did not do. Okay. So, that being said, my fun meal for today is honestly, my fun meal for today is going to be looking up some meal kit boxes. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a Green Chef meal kit box because they have a vegan option and I'm excited to try it. Me learning how to cook vegan food is like me learning how to speak another language. It is like starting over with everything that I've learned about cooking since I was a kid. Because I don't know how to create the flavor palettes that I used to be able to create before or create in this new avenue. So, I'm going to cheat that a little bit by getting some meal kit boxes to help me do that well. The other day, let me tell you, I cooked some jackfruit and yeah, it didn't turn out well. So I was talking to my vegan chef friend this morning and she was like, "Hey, did you get it from the can?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "Did you boil it?" And I was like, "No." When I looked it up online, it didn't say anything about boiling it. She's like, "Yeah, you gotta boil it in order to get the briny can taste out." And I was like, "Okay, that makes a lot more sense." Because what I read just said rinse it off, but that was not enough to actually like get that briny taste out. So I learned something new and I'm excited to use that step the next time I try to make jackfruit. So, yes. The meal kit is going to help streamline some of my process and make it a little easier for me to stay up on my routines, my meal kit and eating routines by getting the meal kit. So that's the number one thing I'm gonna be working on for this week as far as meal prep goes. Then the third thing is, what am I doing fun this evening? Actually, what I'm doing fun this evening is getting some work done. And out of all of the weeks that we have been doing this, this is the first week where I'm not like intentionally Friday trying to go out and do something fun. I've got just quite a few things on my plate. And in managing those things, again, with my ups and downs, I am not, I would, if I tried to go out this evening, I would be distracted by the fact that I have work to do. So instead, I am going to make sure I take an evening walk, and that will be a really good break for my mind from everything that I'm doing so that I can finish up whatever I'm finishing up and then feel good about going to sleep tonight. But that's what I have planned. So, that is everything that we do to wind down our week. And I'm really excited about that because that is the practice that we need to do every single week. It really changes our mind and our perspective about how we step into rest and being intentional about stepping into rest. Sometimes just getting up from your computer is not a like some people. I love when I hear people say, what one of the things that they enjoy about actually going back to work. Not everybody enjoys about going back to work, but the separation that work has, leaving the location, getting into the car, having this routine where your mind starts to shift out of work and shift into rest. That we still need to have those kind of routines, even when we work from home, even as entrepreneurs, so that we can have that balance. And so this is a huge thing for creating that shift so that we can go into our week in that way. Okay, so now that being said, it's time to move into our monthly reflection. And monthly reflection has its own worksheet. Now, forgive me, I just realized that I forgot to say for our Freedom Fridays weekly planning. If you don't have that worksheet, make sure you head over to freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. You can get that worksheet for free and you could go through this process on your own, all by yourself, or do it with me here, letting the video play in the background. That'll give you the timers. You'll hear me say, okay, it's not time to move on to the next step. That's allowing you to really show up and do the process right then and there. Okay. So you can do that. In addition to that, we're now doing the monthly reflection. And again, as I said earlier, monthly reflection is about helping us stay aligned to our bigger goals. So if you do not have that worksheet, that is monthlyreflection.yourdreamstrategist.com. And you can go ahead and download that worksheet as well. So with that, I'm going to copy my worksheet And then I am going to set us up to start doing this next activity. Just checking my timer here. Okay. So when we do our monthly reflection, again, you open up that worksheet, and I'm just opening mine right now. When you open that worksheet, we would have started this worksheet last month because the way that we do it, we finish up that month. So we're going to finish up April's worksheet, excuse me, finish up May's worksheet. And then we're going to make sure that we put our objective for next month in June's worksheet. So we're actually going to start June's worksheet today. So we know what we're working towards over June. You know, part of the reason we don't actually make progress on our goals sometimes is because we didn't actually like decide what the goal was for the month. And so this is helping us be intentional about doing that. So I'm going into my monthly reflection worksheet for May again in the same way that we make a copy every week um for our weekly reflection and for our weekly planning is the same way that we're going to make a copy for our worksheet for monthly reflection. And so with that, we're going to go through the steps. Um, this first section is all about reflecting on what is the progress that we've made over the last month and taking some time to journal, answer the questions. This is really more of a guided journaling session compared to Freedom Fridays is an actual planning session. So, two different purposes and two different feels to it. So with that being said, instead of coming on and off the screen and making and giving you direction as I go, I am going to put the music on. I'm going to let it play out completely and I'm going to do the work. And if you have any questions about what's going on in the worksheet, I invite you to put the questions in the comments. And then I'll share some thoughts and revelations about how what I've reflected on for this month, hoping that it inspires some additional reflection for you. And I would love for you to share yours as well. Hopefully, it will inspire some reflection for me. But this is to keep us on track to our goals. So I'll give you some time to go ahead and do that. And I'll be back when the music runs out.
That's so nasty. That's so nasty. Deal, my fellas, my ladies, work it back. That's so nasty. That's so nasty. That's so nasty. Deal, my fellas, my ladies, work it back. That's so nasty. That's so nasty.
Guys, I'm just in the thick of doing the worksheet. So if you have any questions, again, don't forget to drop them in the comments and we can talk through them. Okay. I'm just about done with the first part of, here we go, of the monthly reflection. Hope that you are finishing up too. We got just about 2 minutes left. Okay. So I hope that you have gone through all the steps or all the questions in the monthly reflection, at least in the reflecting part, because that's the part that allows you to start making adjustments on how you're going to work towards accomplishing your goals over the next month. I've lost my shoe. Um, so for me, some of the things that I recognized was I have some really good structures in place for like my YouTube channel and things like that. But I didn't set as much intentionality behind some of my personal goals. So like this month, going into June, I am going to focus on getting back into my meal prep rhythm. Um, there have been quite a few things that have got me off track for that, but I'm going to work on shifting that back into place. And that's going to be my number one personal objective for the month of June. And then my number one professional objective is to schedule out collabs. And I've already been working on that, and that's been moving. Just working on prioritizing so that I make that a higher priority than it's been so far. So it was a really good reflection to help me reprioritize what is the most important so that I could make sure I schedule time to get those things done, rather than letting those default or end up on the back burner. So really good reflection time for me today. I hope that you found some good things. I hope that you've found some good realizations during your reflection time that you can be proactive and intentional about doing better in this next month. All right. So then um now it's time to set up our focus for next month. This is about setting up our pivot. And as I just said, those are the two that I'm going to work on. So I'm going to spend just a little bit of time writing those out and getting those set up. And then I planned that I was going to, be on screen while I was doing some of my business monthly tasks. But as you can see, this monthly stuff is pretty extensive, and it's really good. It's really good stuff. So it's going to take me a bit longer to get those other things done. And my stomach is already growling. My stomach is like, girl, you would have usually eaten at 1 o'clock after Freedom Fridays, and you are now 45 minutes late. So I am actually going to adjust, and I'm going to do those things off screen, and then go from there. So we'll go ahead and spend some time setting up our power move for next month, um, and then we'll go ahead and end the session for today. I gotta get some more music because I'm sure y'all tired of listening to the same track, but that's okay. I don't have any other option right now. We're still gonna be good. Okay.
So nasty. As so nasty. As so nasty. Yo, my fellas, my ladies, work it back. As so nasty. As so nasty.
Okay. This has been an extensive session today. Ah, as much as I want to combine this to do the monthly reflection at the same time that I do Freedom Fridays, I just don't know that it's the most productive. This is a really long session, and I don't know if that's okay or not. I'm still learning how to really leverage this and make this work best for you and for me. Because I do all of this work regardless. I just do it off camera. And I'm not sure if it's helpful for you if you were to do it here with me. So if you happen to still be watching or have clicked to this part and you hear this question, let me know in the comments, is this helpful for you? And what is helpful about it and how can I make it better? Everybody loves to give your opinion. This is a great time to give your opinion. I'm asking for it. I want you to say, no, it doesn't work, or yes, it does work, and why. I would love to hear that from you. So we've already done our wind down for the week, and doing all of these steps are our wind down, but also our intentionality, winding up our intentionality for the next month. So I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I would love to hear if it's not helpful. Again, help me make this better. I want to hear from you. And then I look forward to seeing you next week here for just Freedom Fridays, not the monthly reflection, back to Freedom Fridays. So I will see you then. Have a great and wonderful weekend.